Hey everyone, Will with Old Man Mountain Biking here. Just wanted to touch base. It's been 6 months since I started mountain biking, so I wanted to kind of give like a 6 month kind of like review of my experience mountain biking. So, the very first ride was Christmas Day 2019 at Wissahickon Valley Park. And well, it was actually more like a hike a bike. I ended up doing more carrying the bike than actually riding the bike. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what I was getting into. We got completely lost on the trails, took the wrong trail, and we really got our butts kicked. Still had fun. At least I had fun. The boys were with me. Not so sure they had fun, but I had fun. Here's a little clip from that time. So I thought I'd share some things I love about mountain biking, some things I hate about my mountain biking. A sort of review of the last 6 months of my mountain bike experience. So here we go. Three things, I'll start with the hate. Three things I hate about my mountain biking. The first thing, this is not really the fault of mountain biking. Actually, the first two things are not really the fault of the sport itself, but they're my problem. I am out of shape. This is the first thing I hate about mountain biking is how out of shape I am. It's clearly my problem. Actually, I feel like I'm losing out on some of the fun with mountain biking because I'm so out of shape. All the flowy downhill sections you see people tearing through, and I'm just kind of like huffing and puffing when I get there, and I just can't even go fast anymore. Just cannot get up to speed. I'm out of shape for a number of reasons, but it's been about a year ago, a complete year since I've had major neck surgery. So in October 2018, I just started randomly, I was like holding cups of coffee. I had this great Darth Vader cup my kids gave me for Father's Day. I loved it. Just holding it one day and talking to my wife. Next thing I knew, the coffee cup was on the floor, shattered in pieces, and the coffee spilled all over the place. And I had no idea what was going on. Come to find out, it's extreme weakness in my right hand, and long story short, the doctor did an MRI, basically saw that I got some serious neck, back disc issues, and I had to get surgery. He basically said I could, if I fell or was in any type of accident, I could be paralyzed for the rest of my life. And he said even regardless of that, in a year, I would be paralyzed. So I'm like, okay, gonna do the surgery. So I took the anterior, it's called ACDF, anterior cervical discectomy infusion. Got four, actually I think 6 large screws on my neck right now. Still, even a year later, still hurts. I still don't have the full strength back, and that's the weird thing with surgery. You never know. It wasn't a surgery that was going to fix everything. It was just going to keep things from getting worse. So I need to work on rebuilding strength. Can't say I feel much better. The surgery hasn't restored any of my strength. It's just kind of plugged the dam to keep things from getting worse. I still lack strength that I used to have and I wish I had. My hope is that with time, this is something that will improve over time. But even just the other day, I was out in the Wissahickon and just with my right hand, just having a hard time even holding onto the grips because just feeling so weak. But, until then, I'm going to keep huffing and puffing on those trails. I'm going to keep getting at it and trying to get stronger. Second thing I really hate about mountain biking, man, I hate getting lost. This is the most frustrating part of mountain biking is getting lost. This frustrates me beyond belief. It's a twofold problem. I literally have no sense of direction. Like I said in another video, I get lost in parking lots. I just get lost easy. The trails are worse because you just don't have as clear markers. I'm just GPS deficient, which means I need to be GPS dependent. And I'm constantly having to pull out my phone, constantly Trailforks, where am I? Every time I get to a trailhead, I'm like, I don't know where to go. So you get into momentum, you get moving, then you're like, you hit a trailhead, you're like, I don't know where to go. So you gotta stop, you gotta whip out your phone, it's just frustrating. So it is partly because I just don't do directions. I'm terrible at it. It's so frustrating. But the other aspect, the other problem is that I need to I just don't know the trails. Part of being new to this, I don't know the trails, so hopefully that will change over time. So constantly walking around, holding up my phone, trying to find, okay, where are we on Trailforks? And sometimes you have GPS, sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's working, sometimes you don't. So my next upgrade that I hope I'm going to make, if I can figure out how to convince my wife to let me buy it, is the Garmin Edge 530 or something like that, some sort of GPS that gives turn-by-turn directions. Hopefully that should be a huge help for someone like me, GPS deficient, out on the trails. So with those two things, we got to realize time is the big issue there. I need to be patient with the physical inability and my directional dissonance. I need, hopefully, with time, those things will get better. Hopefully, I'll feel stronger on the trails, and I'll feel more confident in where I'm going on the trails. The last thing I hate, and maybe hate's kind of a strong word. Yeah, probably I hate. I hate that it's so expensive. Why is it so expensive? I'm not flowing with money. It was a lot just to get the Trek Roscoe 6, which is like the low end Trek. And I got that on a huge sale. I paid $800 for it. And it's normally like $1,100, $1,200 bike. I keep wanting to, any hobby, you're going to want to pour into money. And I got all these plans for upgrading. I was able to upgrade the tires and some other things. I'll probably do another video talking about that. But it's costly. I know it's an investment. I'm investing in my exercise, my well-being, yada, yada. But man, it is expensive. And just looking to upgrade my fork, you're talking about dropping the entire price on a bike, or at least half the price on a bike just for a brand new fork. It's just insane. So those are the things I really hate about mountain biking. 3 things I love. First, I love getting outside. It's just something that's so refreshing. I lived in Philly for the last 10 years. Yeah, love it. Loved living in Philly. Kind of still miss it a lot, but we're just outside of Philly right now. But getting it into nature, I just didn't do it when we were there. I didn't even know. We knew about the Wissahickon Valley. We just never went, and we didn't do it. So it's a nice change to be able to get out, to be into nature. It's remarkable. Some of the best trails in this area are in Philly themselves, in the Wissahickon. I never got there. I never knew about it. But now that I'm outside, gotten into mountain biking, I'm like, oh, I'll be able to take in all these trails. So I love that part. I do. The second aspect is kind of related to that. I love the escape mountain biking provides. Kind of have a high stress job, sedentary but high stress. So when you're out there on the trails, you don't have to worry about the job. You don't have to worry about other things. All you're worrying about doing is trying to get up the next hill. Will I make it up that next hill? Finding the right line, making sure you don't fall, making sure you're leaning back enough to tackle the next descent. At that point, nothing else matters. It's a perfect counter to a high stress job. It's just, you get out there and you're just intentionally focused on just surviving on the bike. And it's refreshing to not have to worry about all that. Third thing I love, it's the community aspect of mountain biking. The fact that being rather new, I still haven't had the chance to meet a lot of new people yet. I hope in the future I'll be able to, but I've been able to go out with my son most of the time. That's a great chance for me to just hang out with him more. My wife, she even let me finally buy her a bike, so hopefully in the near future we'll get out in the trails. We've done some rail trails and just rides around the neighborhood, but hopefully once we find some babysitting for a youngest son, we'll be able to get out and hit the trails. So looking forward to doing that. And I'm really looking forward to, there are the times just when we were in the Wissahickon the other day, I just ran into some older guys who've been mountain biking since I've been alive. That's pretty remarkable in itself. So just talking to them, they're sharing stories. I'm telling I'm struggling with the physical aspect, and they're like, gel packs, get some energy bar, and then they just we share stories and hang out on the trails, and that's a great part of it. I'm really looking forward to, hopefully in the near future, being able to participate in some group rides in the future, because I would love that to just connect more with people. It's been a little harder in the midst of COVID-19 to do that, but as things lighten up a little bit and restrictions get lifted, hopefully we'll be able to do some more group rides in the future and I'll be able to participate with that. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. So 3 things I hate about mountain biking, 3 things I love about mountain biking. Thought it would make sense to, after 6 months, to just kind of throw this out. Still loving it. Still wanting to get back on the trails even when I'm not able to. So looking forward to seeing what the next 6 months hold. Hopefully I'll be in better shape. Hopefully I'll be stronger. Hopefully I'll get to know the trails more. And don't think I'm going to be doing much upgrading, but hopefully maybe I'll be able to get the Garmin sometime in the near future, so I'll be able to get a little better acquainted with the trails and have more confidence on there. But again, the fact that I'm getting outside, focusing intently on the one thing, and not having to worry about countless other things that is going on in life, and just being able to get out and meet other people, hang out with my son, hang out with my wife, all of that. There's some great things that I love about mountain biking. So thanks for hanging out for a few minutes, and I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll talk to you later. See you.